Namaskar, I am Dr. Sonali Naik. Today we are going to read the 5th chapter of Gajanan Maharaj's Granth. Before that, let us do a meditation. Sit still, close your eyes, take deep breaths. Bring your attention to the Adhyay chakra. See that you are sitting on a beach at a very pleasant spot. A cool breeze is blowing. The beautiful sound of the waves coming to your ears. You are at peace, meditating upon Lord Rama. You can see Lord Rama standing in front of you. You seek his blessings. Lord Rama blesses you with health, wealth, and happiness. You are very happy. The protective shield of Lord Rama's blessing covers you all the time. Within this shield, you are blessed and happy, healthy, and protected forever. Therefore, life is full of enthusiasm, happiness, and sweetness. Give thanks. Slowly open your eyes. Jai Gajanan. Shri Ganeshaya Nama. O eternal, unconquerable entity, full of happiness and mercy, I bow down to you and seek your protection. I am just a brow-bitten sinner, devoid of authority to sing laurels to you. So help me, all right, Almighty. But I know one thing, people in authority go to any level to rescue the helpless and the poor. God, Shiv Shankar Mahesh, smeared his body with ash. The smallness of the small does not bother the big at all. I am at your mercy and bow down to you. Mother always fulfills the wants of a child. I am solely depending on you to complete these 3 days. Devotees thronged to Shega to revere the saint. His reputation had spread far and wide. He wanted to keep away from it all and walked away to the woods without leaving any clue about his whereabouts. One day he walked away to an ancient temple of Shiva, an age-old structure in the forest near Pimparga, by the side of a stream, and sat steadily in the hall, in Padmasana pose, away from the worldly din. A group of cowards brought their cattle for their routine gulp of water. They entered the temple when the cows were slopping. Next to God Shiva, they saw the saint sitting. All these years, they saw none sitting there. His eyes were closed. He was in the Padmasana pose. Some of them sat in front of him. His eyes were still closed. He did not speak to them. They couldn't understand the reason of it at all. They brought him some bread, and thinking that he was starving, they tried to wake him up from his trance, but were surprised there was no response. They touched his body. It was warm. He was alive. No cause for alarm. Some thought him to be a phantom. How can that be in a holy temple? Maybe he is God himself, they further thought, and considered themselves a fortunate lot. They worshipped him with water and flowers, washed his feet, offered onion and bread. They sat around him and sang prayers. Then they remembered that it was time to go back. The elders will worry over the delay and come searching for the children. The calves will start lowing for their mother cow's return. They went home and told their parents about the strange appearance of a pious saint at the old temple of Shiva, which changed the status for a while. People of the village went there early next day. The saint was still there in his trance, the same position as he was. Food offered earlier was still lying there. Some thought he was a yogi. Others called him the incarnation of God. On one point, they agreed that the saint was in a trance. They remembered Saint Jalandhar, who stayed in a trance for 12 years. They brought the saint to Pimparga with great pomp and flair on a special palanquin. They took him there. They scattered vermilion powder and various flowers on him. On the way to Pimpalgaon, a special seat was arranged for him in the temple of Hanuman. Since he did not come out of the trance, the villagers decided to fast until he returned to awareness. The saint immediately opened his eyes and came out of his stupor. Jubilant villagers bowed down to him and got him food as an offering. News of the saint coming to Pimpalgaon spread in the neighborhood and reached Shegao. In Tuesday's weekly market crowd, they talked of the saint and his whereabouts. Bankatlal and his wife rushed to Pimpalgaon. They requested the saint with folded hands to come back to Shegao. How can a child be separated from his mother? Devotees are fast there to ensure that you come back earlier. I'll end my life now if you don't come back with me from here. On hearing this, the saint boarded the cart which Bankat had brought. People remembered the story of Akrur taking back Lord Krishna from the town of Gokul. Bankatlal said, the saint is not going far away. He'll be in Shegao, just a few miles away. The saint would go to them if he decided to do so. Bankatlal would being a money lender, people owed him money and did not dare to say no. To their Shegao journey, the saint said, Bankat, this is no way for a lender to take things away. When I look to your affairs, I feel scared to be there. Lakshmi, goddess of wealth, mother of all people, consort of Vishnu from the Trinity, is locked in your captivity. I got frightened and ran away, seeing you treat her this way. Bankatlal replied with a laugh. Mother Lakshmi cannot be impaired by locks. She stays with me because you are there. A child feels safe near mother's care. Your sacred feet are the real wealth to me. I do not care for anything else. That's why I came to Pimpalgaon to bring you back to this jewel. Nothing here belongs to me. It's all yours. How can a watchman stop the owner from entering his own quarters? You may go wherever you like. You may do whatever you like, go wherever you want to go, bless the whole world. But don't forget us, simple folks of the town of Sheka. Cows go out in the morning but return to their shed in the evening. That's what we request you to do. That's our honest entreaty. Thus, Pankatlar brought the saint back to the lovely town of Shugao, where he stayed for a few days and then went away. It so happened that one fine morning the saint left for Adgao without an inkling, like transporting of God Hanuman with the speed of a windy storm. It was Vaishak in summer. Water had dried up everywhere. At hot noon, he reached village Akoli, lips dry with thirst and perspiring profusely. He looked around for water. A farmer named Bhaskar was working in his field further. A farmer toils hard to produce food for all, facing all vagaries of weather. He is an important member of the society in general. Water was so scarce in Akoli, one may get ghee more easily. Bhaskar had brought him for himself a pitcher full of water and some bread. These were kept under a shrub. The saint asked of him just a few sips to gulp. Please give me water, I am thirsty. Please don't say no, it is considered a pious deed to give water to the thirsty indeed. In scorching summer, wealthy people open water booths for travelers on the highway to quench their thirst. A gulp or two is what I need. Bhaskar replied, how can I reckon it a good turn to offer water to a useless person, unmindful of his naked condition? Religious books relate a good action to offering made to orphans, disabled, and to persons who help redeem a social ill. It is a sin to quench your thirst, as you are one of the undeserving people around. No one will ever nourish a snake on humanitarian grounds or offer protection to a thief in his own house. You are getting fat begging from door to door, a burden to society, nothing more. I have brought this water on my head for me and not you, O dumbhead. I won't give you a drop, so walk away, you flop. Because of lazy people like you thriving in our society, we are defamed to a great extent in the world community. The saint smiled and walked his way, saw a well not far away. Seeing him thus walking by, Bhaskar yelled out loud, that well is not worth a try, it is completely dry. There is no other around us within 2 mile radius. The saint said, if that be right, I'll try to get water in it. I am aware that deserving people face great torture without water. Let me try something in society's interest. God will help me if my intentions are honest. He peeped into the well. It was completely dry. He sat under a tree on a rock nearby. With closed eyes, he meditated a while, solemnly imploring Almighty to fill in the well for the community. He invoked God in all his names. Please fill in water in this dry space. People look worried. There is not a drop left in any of the wells. All human efforts have failed. Please come to their rescue. Impossible things you can do. You saved cats from a burning furnace and emerged from a pillar at Prahlad's request. You devoured 12 villages around Gokul as Vaishvanar. You lifted a mountain as Murari on your little finger. You posed as an untouchable for Saint Damaji Pant and tended the cattle of Saint Chokhamira. You protected the birds of Sant Savtamari and created water for Namdev in hot Marwad Alley. God Almighty, if so, you so desire, you can fill this well with water. His invocations went on fervently, and a spring of water shot up in the well. God's creativity has no limits. He can craft what he thinks fit. The saint quenched his thirst with water from the well. Bhaskar could not believe what he had seen. How can a well dry for 12 years be now full surging with water? It means the person whom he slighted was not an ordinary man, but saint. Realizing the fault, Bhaskar ran to him and on his feet fell prostrate. Pardon me, he said, I am an ignorant child. I didn't know you well and insulted you widely. When milkmaids insulted Krishna, he did not take them seriously. Please pardon me thus and don't deal with me sternly. External appearances are deceptive. I was carried away by that. My ignorance is wiped away with the miracle you performed. I realized your powers and will not leave your feet. You, as a mother, should not desert me. I recognize the mundane things as the seed. Don't lament, said the seer. I created water here to avoid you bringing it from places not near. Don't give up your pursuits. This water is for you. Cultivate rich fields as you used to do. Don't tempt me, O saint, said Bhaskar in humiliation. I was like the dry well. You have filled it with comprehension. This is a fine spring of faith. With this water, I'll grow a fruit garden of deep devotion. O saint, bless me so. I will plant trees of good moral education, flowers and plants of determined action. I'll do away with transitory attachment enticing me in worldly temptation. Look at the transformation that came about in Bhaskar's action with the brief association of a saintly incarnation. Sant Tukaram, in his dissertation, writes of the effects of a saint's darshan. It is worthwhile reading that script for your own benefit. News of a dry well filling with water spread to the village like wildfire. People rushed to the saint to see him first and went to the well to quench their thirst. Like flies dashing to a honey jar or ants to a lump of sugar, the water was cool, tasty, and clear, sweeter than the heavenly nectar. They all cheered the saint again and again. Instead of going to Adgaon, he returned to Shegaon with Bhaskar. May this treatise be your real guide and make you prosper.